What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Whales Den podcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got my boy Max with me today,
It's
and
Dr. MTU, my friend.
okay, Doctor M. Sorry,
I'm
sorry,
fucking playing, bro.
Doctor M. All right, go back to our Smash names. I'm still Whale with a three at the end, I guess.
Did you
Um,
actually do that?
yeah, because I was on someone else's Wii one time, or Wii U, and
Mhm.
Whale was already on there, and I was like, I haven't played on here before. And he was like, Yeah, my friend loves whales. And I was like, I guess I got to change mine a little bit then. And
So original.
yeah. But today is going to be the first video of like a little series I want to do. We're going to have a whole bunch of guests on talking about anime and manga and whole bunch of different stuff. And today, me and Max are just gonna, oh, me and Doctor M are just gonna be talking about just some random stuff. We watch a lot of anime.
An
Uh,
unhealthy amount, I would say, actually.
I would probably agree with you and say an unhealthy amount. Uh, read a pretty unhealthy amount of manga. Um, it's just kind of who we are. And so, I mean, it's thought it'd be a good idea to throw us together in a room and just talk about shit. We kind of have a little bit of a list to go off of, and
Hmm.
we'll hit it. And when we hit time or however long we think we're good, then we'll stop.
Hell yeah.
So first, first on the list, something we talked about before we started the episode is One Piece. Um, One Piece, I think it was about somewhere between like 6 and 9 months ago. I might be a little off on that. Oda, Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, the mangaka, said that he wants to end One Piece in about five
In
years.
5 fucking years, my guy.
In 5 years,
It's been like 20 something, and the
yeah,
man's still like.
I think 2000. No, I'm sorry, not 2000. I think 1997, because I think it started the year I was born. I'm a little bit older than One Piece. I'm proud to say, but yeah, 20. I think the anime's been on for 20 or 21 years, and the manga's been around since I think it was like June or July of 1997.
So the first anime episode was 1999,
Okay.
and then the first chapter was ooh, July 20. Oh wait, this is giving me some completely different shit. But I'm guessing around like a year or two before that. So
Yeah.
probably like 98, 97.
Um, so One Piece has been, I mean, a killer. It's such a huge anime. It has such a huge following, and you can only really compare One Piece's following to like a Dragon Ball, and that's only because Dragon Ball has been around since we were also just talking about this, like the '80s. Like it's been around.
87 or 80, I'm pretty sure it started 85 because chapter 131, which is like supposedly like the ending,
Yeah.
was around 87. So that's around 2 years,
Okay. So yeah,
give or take.
but yeah, so about 5 years, and so obviously, I guess I should say this: this entire episode will be full of spoilers. We're
Oh
not
yeah.
we're not
Oh
going to
yeah.
hold things back. We're literally just going to be talking about everything. So
We're
I'll
literally gonna talk about Haikyuu, Food Wars, Boruto spoilers,
yeah,
Fruit of Grisaia, even though I know none of you have heard of that, and Weathering With You. If you haven't watched it yet,
you should definitely check that
just
out.
go fucking, yeah, just go fucking watch it.
Shinkai is a genius, but we'll get
Just
there.
yeah.
Um,
Is he the one that made your name too?
he
Because I remember I
is.
saw the characters
Yeah,
on the thing. Oh shit, spoiler. But anyway.
you should you should definitely look up some of the other stuff he's done. All of his movies, all the stuff that I've seen of his has all been pretty good. I've liked every single thing.
All right, bet. I'm gonna
Um,
do that.
but yeah, so One Piece is in Wano right now, which is it's kind of a sticky situation because as of now, let me open up the Shonen Jump app. I think the most recent chapter was 986, and it released. What is today? Monday. It released yesterday.
Hmm.
Um, and some stuff is happening. And something that's very interesting is that the editor of One Piece, this is kind of old news now, it's about a week old, said that he actually cried while reading and
Huh?
editing 987, the next chapter for next week. Or it comes out a week from today. It comes out a day later for some reason.
Yeah.
And he said he teared up, which to me is kind of crazy because, I mean, usually you have a pretty good idea of where the story is going to go and not much will surprise you. So for an editor to go, wow, like I cried reading this, I cried editing this, like that's kind of a big deal.
It's a
Um,
very big deal, my guy.
and what's kind of scary is right now in One Piece, they're about to they just attacked Kaido, which is an emperor. I mean, Kaido is one of the strongest people in the world. They call him the
Hmm.
strongest living, creature.
Preacher. Yeah.
And so for him to be attacked, I think they pushed him off the balcony. Like this, the ending of this manga is they one of the guys rips his club from his hand, and the others and the guy after he rips the club out all attack him all at once. And it was a really cool scene. I'm not gonna spoil it too much because I thought about maybe making a One Piece episode talking about what I think about One Piece, but
Hmm.
it's set up for someone to die. Like it's like someone in this next
God
chapter.
damn it.
Like I don't know who.
I mean, I'm guessing it has to be like a character dear to him for him to fucking cry.
Yeah, like I think someone is dying. I don't know who. Uh, if I had to guess, and this is huge spoiler, like talk, but I'd say maybe we find out Sabo's dead, which is Luffy's other brother, because Ace is
Hmm.
dead. Maybe Sabo's dead. Maybe we find out that maybe Kinemon or Momonosuke died, which are characters that have been a part. I know in the anime since 2015. I don't remember when Punk Hazard happened in the manga. I mean, obviously years before that. But I mean, to have a character around for 5 to 7 years is a pretty big deal. I mean, if they were to die, obviously that'd be sad. So I would hate to see them go, but it's set up for a death.
Hmm.
Um, and things are moving quick. I mean, Otis said before, I would, One Piece is 70% done, whatever, whatever, and that was like years and years and years ago. And so his time frames have always been wrong. But with things, with things picking up the way they are, like I could actually see One Piece ending in 5 years, and I actually think it might be a pretty good ending. Um, and I
I
think,
hope it's a good ending
oh,
because
God, I hope so too.
should we skip to the one like one in the middle we have concrete endings?
Yeah, maybe we can bring that up.
Like also with One Piece because like
Yeah,
for something to have been going on for 20, well, he says 5 years in time, right?
almost
So
30
like,
years. Let's say
yeah,
almost
let's say
30
30 years.
years. Yeah.
Let's say 30 years. For something to be going on for 30 years, the ending better have no loose ends, nothing leave up to the fans to speculate, nothing like a comic got killed. Jesus Christ. I still remember that shit.
Like
That pissed me off.
it's going to be a big deal because I mean, it'd be like if Dragon Ball came out and said, "We're done making Dragon Ball forever." I mean, obviously Super's coming back, or a Dragon Ball is coming back at some point.
Some iteration
Yeah,
is gonna come
because
back.
the Dragon Ball Super manga is still going. I actually just got to the chapter past where the anime ended because I wanted to read back through the Tournament of Power.
Hmm.
And from what I understand, like caught up in the manga right now, like people are dead. Goku's dead or about to die. Vegeta's on the
Wait,
verge of
what?
dying. Yeah, this dude, I think his name was Boro or Moro or something like that. I mean, he's just ripped everyone apart. He and his henchmen, like, this dude's on some next level shit.
Isn't Moro some like
He's like a goat looking guy,
multi
I think.
universe? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen what's his name? Karthu or something. He did like what if Goku was the god of destruction, and they
Yeah,
mentioned Moro, and he's like, even if because apparently like if he became the god of destruction and we trained him, he would have been like way ahead of Beerus. And he's like, even this Goku would have like struggled against this man. Like this thing's like another beast,
right.
basically. So I've
Um,
heard of Moro. I haven't seen him in action though.
apparently, yeah, apparently he's some kind of god. The chapter I just read, they were like closing in on his location, and Goku had found him. Like I had like searched for his like energy and found his energy, and I guess maybe he's going to use instant transmission and try to teleport, to him.
He's
And
he's gonna die.
I don't know. I mean, Goku's died in the past. There's always a way to bring him
There
back.
was another thing too. I was gonna ask you. One Piece has like some resurrection type shit.
Actually, no. When people die
Okay,
in One Piece, like they're dead.
they're dead. Yeah. Because that's the thing. I kind of. I mean, I find it funny with Dragon Ball, but at the same time, like it kind of irks me because I'm like, I remember when they did the hit assassination on Goku, but it's like, oh, we have the Dragon Balls. Like, oh, he's not dead,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's a pretty
really?
big cop out.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, as far as I know, in One Piece, the only like resurrection thing is one of the guys has a devil. Gecko Moria has a devil fruit where he can like
Hmm.
steal someone's shadow and give it to a body, and that body is now a zombie that serves Moria. But I wouldn't count that as like resurrection. I think that's kind of like using a body that's just there to control like a puppet. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the reanimation shit.
Kind of, yeah. And
Like,
until
sure, there's a way to come back to life, but if you're just under reanimation, you're just like a puppet,
right,
basically.
yeah, that's kind of how I would. Except they don't have like their conscience or whatever conscious
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
until Madara hit that tell them not to use this jutsu so recklessly. Boom, and undid that shit and actually brought himself
Bro,
back to life.
that
Dude,
was
what?
fucking hardcore. I was like, yeah, Madara's and to think Hashirama would beat him, bro.
Bro, to think. That's nuts, dude. It's
But
nuts.
at the same time, I'm like, but Madara didn't have Hashirama cells when Hashirama beat him.
That's also true. I didn't think about that. That's true. He didn't have the cells, which helped him, I guess, regenerate and do also the wood style. That's very true.
Yeah, but we still did see Madara without the cells because he had to basically bring himself back actually to
Yeah,
life to get that.
to get the
And
shit.
he was still just given the five Kagure hands. He's like, y'all ain't shit.
Dude, he said,
Hashirama would be disappointed.
this dude said 1v5, that's fine. Made 25 clones, and he goes, now you want them to use Susanoo or not?
Susanoo or not.
I said, oh shit. I said, 25 clones Susanoo, dude? No way. And that dude hit it.
Yeah, and
That
then
dude hit it
and you know
hard.
he's strong. You know he's strong because even Masashi was like, I don't know how I'm gonna kill this character.
Yeah, yeah, the creator was like, I mean, I'll come up with something eventually, I guess.
I'll pull something out of my ass. I mean,
Yeah.
I wrote myself into this kind of dead end because, bro, basically at that point, if it wasn't for some cop out like Black Setsu, Madara would have just taken over everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Madara
And
would have ruled the world.
what's anyone gonna do about it?
Nobody.
Naruto was
You
gonna do shit
can't.
about it.
Yeah,
Sasuke wasn't gonna do shit about it.
but here's the thing, and someone had brought this up.
Hmm.
If Obito would have survived, he's the most OP character in the game, right? Double Eternal Monkey-Kyo Sharingans. He's got Susanoo. He's got Hashirama's cells. He's got 6 pass powers. This dude's unbeatable.
Hmm.
Like, this dude is clearly OP. And he kind of had to die. And I was like, you make a good point. Is Obito OP? Yeah. But look at fucking Madara. This dude's got the Renegon. He's not only does he have 6 pass powers, but he can use it correctly.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
he has like the ultimate what is it called, chakra control. Like, bro, he literally had the beasts like at their knees. Like, he's just
Oh,
one
it's
man. Like, they
crazy.
couldn't touch him.
This
And
dude.
no, he was blind, wasn't he? In the beginning of the battle, he
Yeah,
was
he
fucking
didn't
blind
have eyes.
because Obito had one of his eyes, and then someone else had his like
His
Obito had his
actual,
right
yeah.
one, I think, and then someone else had his left, but I forgot who.
Because at
And
one
he's like,
point,
I gotta get those back.
yeah, at one point I think he was just fighting with one, and then or he didn't have any. Then he had one, and then I think he got the Renegon back from
Hmm.
Pain or what, I don't remember. It's been a minute.
Nagato had it. Actually, yeah, Nagato had it. Because
Oh,
I
because he
think it
gave.
showed.
Oh, that was part of the plan. That's right. That's
Yeah,
how Naruto had the
so
eyes.
someone, I don't know if it was Black Setsu or someone implanted it into Nagato, and then the other one went to Obito. I think.
Makes sense.
Damn, Masashi knew how to cover up his plot holes.
Let me tell you, Naruto's not a perfect anime,
Oh no,
but it's
by any
better
means
than
of the word.
Bleach. We'll that we
I
can talk
have
about
not
that
seen
later.
Bleach. I
Don't
have not seen Bleach. Yeah,
don't. But
I saw like the first episode and like the first 7 minutes. I'm like, I'm not watching this shit.
I've watched the first 35 episodes of Bleach like 6 times. I
Oh
can't get
Jesus.
past that. I can't get past the first 36 episodes. Like, the fights are cool, the premise is cool, but I'm just not a huge fan. And I know it's coming back, and so I think I'm going to sit down and read the manga. I'm not going to watch the show. I'm just going to
Hmm.
sit down and actually read the manga because I think I'd probably enjoy it a lot more, like picturing it in my head and not dealing with all the filler. Because Bleach, like, there's filler arcs, right? Every show
Yeah.
has filler arcs, or like the beach episode, like every anime has one. But
Hmm.
Bleach has filler seasons. You can skip entire seasons of Bleach and it doesn't
And you won't
matter.
miss
You
anything.
won't
Yeah,
miss
and you won't miss
anything.
anything.
They will stop halfway through a fight, have a filler season, and pick up the fight the season after. Like, dude, let's ease up a little bit.
In the middle of the fight, it's like, hey, you remember that thing we did in that one obscure day, and then just
Yeah,
fucking goes into filler season, not even a filler episode.
like, bruh, it's annoying. But that kind of ties into what we were talking about with the endings, because Naruto Shippuden had an ending.
It like I would say yes because we saw Naruto Hinata get married. They had a kid. We saw that.
Yeah,
Sasuke Sakura got married. They had a kid. We saw that. We saw like people getting married and they're like, oh yeah, they're living happy lives.
right.
Yada yada yada. This and that for like this certain amount of time, and then yes, they start back up Boruto, but we already said we treat it like a separate anime because it's like, all right, now we're focusing on this kid rather than the other kid that we focused on, and the other kid's like 30 something at that point. I'm not sure how old he
Oh,
is.
see, I always have issues with age when it comes to Naruto.
Hmm.
I don't know because I always have to go back and look this up because I think he turned 16 or 17 at the end of the war,
Yeah,
and
something like that. He was 17 at the end.
I think somewhere online you can find how old Kakashi was when he became Hokage, and that happened at the end of the war.
Hmm.
So then you just have to you find like Kakashi's age, or you find like when one of the two, you find the age when they were tired or whatever, and you can like
Yeah.
subtract. And I don't think it's or at this point you might just be able to Google it. I haven't actually just Googled it in a while, but I remember
Yeah.
like when Naruto when the manga ended. I went back and I was like, "Hold on, I gotta figure this out," and did like some like super math equation trying to figure out when Naruto would be Hokage. Like,
The math ain't adding up, my guy.
but yeah, to me, it's a connected universe for sure. I'm fine with
Hmm.
that, but Boruto, I almost have to look at it separately because it's just well first of all, there's 100 and over 150 episodes I think right now.
Yeah.
Uh, almost all filler.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
almost well, m- I think Anime Filler List calls it anime canon, which means it only happens in the anime.
Bro, fuck that.
What's about to happen right now in Boruto that's releasing on a weekly basis is finally the Kara stuff, which Kara is like the new Akatsuki.
Oh.
Um, here's the thing I don't like about Kara.
Oh God.
It
Whoa, what
so
happened?
so the Akatsuki, right, made up of
Hmm.
elite shinobi that left their villages. They said, "No, I'm not doing this anymore." They scratched
Hmm.
through their headband. It is said in the lore the Akatsuki members could all 1v1 a tailed beast and hold their own. They may not be able to beat
And they
them,
did. They showed it.
right?
They not only stated it, they showed it. Fucking what was his name? Oh, I forget his name. Deidara?
Datara, yeah,
He 1v1 fucking Gara.
yeah.
I forgot.
He
I think
also
Kisame 1v1 like someone else. I forgot
I
who.
think Data. Oh no, it was Hidan and Kakazu, the zombie
Hmm.
combo, beat the second tails, beat the two
Yeah.
tails. Like,
Hmm.
and I mean, you could argue that they're kind of like the one and two tails are the weakest, but they're still tailed beast.
There's still a tail
They're
fucking
still
beat.
they're still
And Gara
creatures,
had full control of it.
right? And they're still creatures that Kage level shinobi do not go after. Like
Hmm.
you don't engage one unless you absolutely have to. And these dudes were hunting them down. They
Bro,
killed these dudes.
Even Sasuke, I don't know if you say he beat Killer B, but he definitely like
Dude,
he gave him hands.
Sasuke got those hands though.
Oh yeah, no, he received the hands, but he still like
Yeah,
he still
he
held his own.
he escaped. I wholeheartedly believe he only left with his life because Suigetsu and Karin and Jugo were there. If he went alone, I think Sasuke dies in that fight.
Oh yeah, no, Sasuke dies.
Uh, and it's funny because the second time he shows up, he gets rocked by the Raikage too at the Kage Summit. He
Oh
gets
yeah,
rocked like hard.
that reminds me of the thing that was so fucking hardcore about the Raikage is like, oh, these flames never end. Fucking chops off his
Bro,
arm. He's like,
he
all right.
cut off his arm and it didn't phase him. The dude is still a beast. Like,
Yeah, no,
how gnarly do you have to be to go, nah, I don't need my left arm, shh, and just cut it off? Are you kidding me?
bro, fucking mad lad.
But Kara, right? So that's the Akatsuki. Like
Okay, yeah, yeah, well,
when
that's
you
Akatsuki. So
you
what
think
about
you think
Kara?
Akatsuki, I mean, Itachi, right? You think Obito,
I
Nagato,
even remember
Pain,
Orochimaru. I even remember
Orochimaru,
Orochimaru because
and I
even
mean,
Orochimaru was good.
this dude, and he's still alive in Boruto. I mean, he's like a
I still don't get
good
that shit.
guy, quote unquote. But I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know. We're gonna figure out what's gonna happen with him.
Hmm.
Kara is like half human cyborgs. They're like so in Boruto. There's a big emphasis on scientific ninja tools,
Hmm.
and so like half of Kara, the bad guys, their bodies regenerate. They have like special powers. Like it's hard to kill them. Like Naruto puts one of them in the ground. He kills her. He straight up
Hmm.
kills her, and she just transfers her mind to a different one of her bodies, and she survives. Like that's kind of bullshit to me,
That is very bullshit,
dude.
actually.
Let me tell you something. Sidetrack for a second. That chick
Hmm.
shows up. Naruto is training Kawaki and Naruto and Boruto,
Hmm.
and Himawari's there too, right? Like his daughter.
Yeah.
And this chick shows up to get Kawaki, and Naruto goes, "You listen, bro. You put a hand on them, you try to attack them, I'm gonna kill you. And the
Hmm.
first thing she does is she fights. She shoots a laser beam at Himawari and tries to kill her. And
Hmm.
Naruto loses his shit. Like he goes in, he does this super massive Rasengan, puts her in the fucking ground, and
And how did he come back from a direct hit
like
Rasengan?
she's dead. Like her body's all mangled and twisted. She got Yamcha'd hard.
I forgot about Yamcha.
Yeah, she got Yamcha'd. Like it was actually gnarly. But like it's kind of a cop out, right?
Hmm.
And so to me, Kara is not very cool because, I mean, someone at Boruto's level, and he used he used his karma, his seal on his hand. It took over
Hmm.
his body, and that's how he beat a member of Kara. But
Hmm.
he still almost killed it without the seal. He, Sarada, Kawaki, and Mitsuki almost gave the hands to this guy. I think it was Boros. I think
Hmm.
B or D. I forget which letter he was. And like that to me, that just shows you that these bad guys are nowhere near the Naruto pre time skip got the hands from every Akatsuki member. He wasn't beating
Oh
a
yeah, no.
single one.
Who did he fight? I know he fought Itachi, but he was
Itachi
12
and
at that time.
Kisame showed up
Yeah,
at the end
Itachi
of
Kisame showed up.
yeah.
He fought. Did he fight Sasori? No, Sakura. Bro, I
Oh,
always
dude,
remember when Sasori died to Sakura, of all
bro,
people.
dude. What's even funny is people are like, "No, Sakura's not useless. She fought Sasori and beat him." No, Lady Chio or whatever her
Yeah,
name was
Granny
using her. Yeah,
Chio.
was using her like a puppet. She wasn't fighting shit. What do you mean?
Oh
Sakura
my
is still the
god.
most useless character. It's cool that she uses medical ninjutsu. It's cool she has like the thousands healing whatever thing, right?
Hmm.
Little thing on her forehead. That's sick. She's overpowered in her own right,
Yeah,
but she loses every battle. Put put Sakura against anyone that Sasuke and Naruto fought, and she loses. Anyone, just
bro,
pick any fight.
Itachi. Sasuke
She
versus
gets
Itachi on
demolished.
Shippuden. She'll get destroyed.
Dude,
No, she just looks him in the eye. That's it. She's in
oh, she's
Genjutsu. What
gone.
the fuck are you gonna do? But who did Naruto? I know Naruto ran into Kisame and Itachi.
Yeah, because
He
Itachi put the
fought
crow in
Pain.
his throat.
Actually, Naruto beat Pain, but with Talk no Jutsu. So I don't know if that one
Now,
counts.
I think Naruto beat Pain in a fight. I think the Talk no Jutsu is what brought everyone back to life in the village. I think
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think did the arc end with Talk no Jutsu for sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Without Talk no Jutsu, I think Kakashi would still be dead. Like Choji's dad would still be dead. Like all these like prevalent characters are dead.
Hmm.
But Naruto gave all six paths of pain the work.
Yeah.
This dude, bro, Sakura said, Naruto! He appears up with all his toads. Oh, that's easily one of my favorite entrances from any anime of all time.
It's very much up there. Probably my top one too, because it's like
Like, you show up with the squad. Like, this dude
and
showed
the
up
squad
with,
even and he didn't just show up with the squad, like with like let's say Dragon Ball Z Naruto. He didn't just show up with the squad and then like they just sat there on the sidelines, not being able to do anything.
nah,
They actually did shit.
they fought. Yeah. Dude, Gama Bunta, Gama Ken, and the other one I forget the name of. Gama. Tot.
Which one was the one that talked in like samurai talk? I remember him. He was fucking funny.
I don't. What. Do you remember
He
what
was
weapon he
blue, I
used?
think. He was blue, I think, and he only had like a singular
I
sword.
think that was Gamaken, the one on the left side when they spawned in, or when they
I think so.
teleported. I
I remember
think
he
that's
was blue though.
Gamaken.
He was so funny. He's like, I am ungraceful or
Oh
something like
no,
that.
that's
As he fucking
Oh, that's the one that fought with Jiraiya. Oh, I forget his. Is it Gamaken? Hold up,
yeah, wait.
we
Hold
gotta
up,
look
hold up,
this up, boys. I'm
hold
sorry.
up.
Mid podcast.
Mid
Listen,
podcast.
I'm gonna say this again. I've said it in a lot of podcast episodes. We go straight through. I do not edit these because I think if you edit it, you're not real. We're going
Oh
straight
no, no,
through with
no.
what's happening.
Podcast is all raw. You
Exactly.
you you
Yeah.
don't take anything out. You don't
The
do
only
anything.
thing that might be edited in the future is I kind of want a good intro and maybe an outro, like song or something.
Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm.
Everything is a single shot. Now I will pause the recording if like we have technical issues. That way we can
Hmm.
get everyone back. But no, we don't edit. So we're going
Okay,
straight through.
it is Gamakin. He's
Okay.
the magenta colored toad. He wasn't
Okay,
blue. He's the magenta colored one. Bro, he's so funny. He's like, I am graceful. As he proceeds to slice like the bird
bro,
in half, I think, or
he
something like
he's
that.
given like these summonings like the works with his like
Hmm.
pitchfork thing. It's not a pitchfork, but it looks like one.
Yeah.
He's given them the works, bro. Let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hmm.
I know people hate this. I know it's a widely speculated topic. I don't. I think Jiraiya could have beat Pain. I
Hmm.
do. I think he held back. I honestly think Jiraiya held back because he wanted answers and wanted to save Nagato and Yamato or whatever. Whatever. No, not Yamato.
Hmm.
Nagato and what was the other one's name? Because Nagato is
Nagato's the red hair, the
right.
Uzumaki clan redhead.
What was?
Um, I think it was no, it wasn't Yamato. Yamato was the wood user.
Yeah.
What was the girl's name? Kona?
Conan, or
Conan?
Conan, I think. Yeah, Conan. But what was Conan?
Yahito.
Yahiko. Yeah, it just hit me right as you looked it up. Um,
Yeah.
because he was like, because at first he was like Yahiko, like where'd you get those eyes? Like what happened to Nagato? Like he didn't know. Like obviously no one knows.
Yeah.
I think Jiraiya held back because he wanted those answers and he wanted to maybe try to save his pupils. Maybe he felt bad for abandoning them and leaving them and they came. I mean, he trained them, sure, but he had to leave at some point.
Hmm.
I wholeheartedly believe that if things were different, Jiraiya could have probably brought them back to the Leaf Village. I really do think that. Um,
Yeah,
and
if he knew that those were just vessels and not actually like the people, like if he knew that wasn't actually Yahiko, that was just like a clone, he probably would have slapped him,
oh,
like
for sure,
hands down. He probably would have slapped him, and then he would have been like, "Oh, okay, I see what's going on here."
yeah,
I mean, and he did figure out the gimmick of the six paths,
he
which is
did,
crazy.
and his dying action was to write that note in Grandpa Toad's back
Hmm.
and send him back. And let me tell you, that was crazy. I love that's I don't know. Naruto has done some crazy shit. Like honestly, when I look back, I always say One Piece and Naruto are my favorites. I think Naruto will always have just a little bit of an edge until One Piece ends, because then I can kind of look at them both fairly. Because
Hmm.
man, Naruto just did it right. It really did. It just did everything right.
I like the power system of Naruto,
Yeah.
and that's
Whereas
another thing too. Power systems in shonen anime, some of them are good, some of them are
some of
very
them are
bad.
bad. Yeah.
But have you seen this is kind of off topic, but have you seen the analysis of the power system of One Punch Man?
I have not.
It's by Nux Taco, I think, the one that does like the biggest anime flexes or something like that. And he's like, yeah, no, the whole gimmick of the power system is that it doesn't fucking matter what power level they are. Like the disaster system, like dragon, demon,
Yeah.
god, or whatever. He's like, Saitama's still just gonna come in and one punch him, but it only doesn't matter to Saitama, but it matters to everybody else in that universe. And
Right.
I'm like, yo, that's fucking lit. But anyway, the chakra system, like I don't know, they did it right. Like for Masashi to come up with so many characters that had, I would say, unique powers.
Yeah, I would call
Of
them
course,
unique.
of course there's like clans. Like of course, like there will be people with similar powers, but it's like corrosion,
Yeah.
jutsu. Or what was it called?
Cause she had
Corrosion style. There we go. Corrosion style.
you talking about the Mizukage, or are you
Was
talking
that the
about?
Mizukage?
Well, she had some kind of like acid spit, and she had magma style. She had
Magma
two.
style. Yeah, that too. And then there was like magnetic, crystal,
Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff.
Haku's ice.
Oh, dude, the ice was probably one of my favorites.
Ice was probably one of the coolest Kekkei in the
Yeah.
universe.
Um,
After the OP ones like Sharingan, Rinnegan.
and see, like Boruto doesn't do any of this stuff.
Hmm.
Like it, and I think that's kind of the reason why a lot of people hate it is because they look at Boruto and they go, "Hey, you're not doing what Naruto did." Well, yeah,
He's unique.
it's a different show. He's a shittier kid. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't expect like it. I don't know any other protagonist to have a son, right? And them to
mhm.
do the exact same show because it'd be dumb. It's repetitive, and people would complain. I think either
I mean,
way,
we're
it's a
still
lose lose.
complaining.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, like everyone's gonna complain, but it's like for me, Boruto is like the kid Naruto should have been if he had both his parents.
that makes sense.
Like, I'm pretty sure he still would have been like, "Oh, my dad doesn't pay attention to me." He still probably would have been a prodigy like ninja, because I mean, his dad
Oh, dude,
literally.
Minato, bro.
I still to this day, Minato was my favorite
Bro,
like
easily.
badass character.
Bro, he
Like,
had a run-on sight order. They said if you see this man, do not
oh
engage.
yeah, yeah. It's like don't engage the fourth Hokage or like the yellow flash. There we go.
Yeah,
Like don't engage
they
the yellow
said
flash.
you run. They say if you see him, do not do anything. Do not attack him.
Didn't he beat like a 1,000 member platoon by himself
Bro,
just by
yeah,
telling his
yes, this dude is
he told his
insane.
squad he's like don't worry about this guys, just throw kunai on the battlefield, and they're like
Yeah,
what? He's like, yeah, just fucking do that, and then in the blink of an eye, yeah, everyone was dead. Well,
it's.
not dead, knocked out, but
I'm sure he killed plenty. If we're being
he killed
honest.
plenty, but not all of them were dead. I hope
No,
not.
for sure not. But yeah, I think he's easily one of my favorite like anime characters, like all around, just because he's a well-rounded character. He's OP. He still has his weaknesses. Like he's still like his weakness is always going to be like his love and compassion, obviously for
Hmm.
Naruto and don't tell me the wife's name. Oh, I'm gonna forget it. Oh, does it start with a
I remember
K?
her name.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah. It starts
Oh,
with a K. I remember it.
It's not Kurenai. Kurenai is the other one. Oh, what is? Just tell me. I'm not gonna remember.
Yeah, the Kushina.
Kushina. God dang it. Um, because that's what killed him. That's what
Yeah,
killed Minato. His love
agreed.
and compassion for his son is what killed him. I mean
Hmm.
it's a huge flaw. Same with Luffy in One Piece. Huge flaw. If you mess with his friends, especially after the time skip, he is going to do his absolute best to put you in the ground. Like
Hmm.
he doesn't do that. Like you don't mess with family, bro. Like that's crazy. Like I've always loved that like weakness. It's
Hmm.
cliche. It's so cliche, but it's like nothing is stronger than the bond you have with your friends, your family, like your crewmates, your people on your ninja squad. Like Naruto would die for Sasuke for sure,
Oh yeah.
like 100.
Sadly,
Percent
even for Sakura, but we don't talk about
Sure,
that.
yeah. And I mean, even in the last chapter of Boruto, because the big bad guy just showed up to the village and they're about to fight in the village.
Hmm.
Um, Boruto's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come fight with you," and Naruto's like, "No, you're not. You're staying here." And Sasuke goes, "Naruto is prepared to die for the village. I am prepared to die for this village. Are you prepared to die for this village?" And Boruto goes silent. He doesn't know
Oh
how to answer
wow.
that because, like Naruto and Sasuke, like the village is their family. Like Naruto, for decades, that's all he wanted. You know, he grew up by himself. He wanted to be a Hokage and lead people, and he did it. He will die for the village, and
Hmm.
I think sadly we may see that.
His dad died for the village.
Exactly. Like, oh
I
God,
think
don't say that.
I
Oh
think every
no.
Hokage has died for the village, actually.
Oh shit, dude, you
Except
shouldn't have said
fucking
that
wait, why?
because he's gonna die now. Damn it,
Wait, who's gonna die? Naruto?
Naruto. Shit, he's gonna die just like Minato. I bet you anything.
I don't know if like the same circumstances. Yeah, I
Because
could see that happening.
big spoiler, but you know what? We're doing it in Boruto. Before the big bad guy teleports to the Leaf Village, he fights someone named Kashin Koji. Now, Kashin Koji summons toads. He uses toad style. He uses toad sage.
Oh, I heard about this, bro. You know what? My
Yeah,
fucking girlfriend spoiled that shit for me.
he's a clone of Jiraiya. Yeah, like
Fucking hell, I saw that too, and I was like, she told me that, and I'm like, you're fucking with me, right? And she's
and
like, no.
maybe it won't happen because Jigen, the big bad guy, I'm just gonna call him Jigen from now on.
Hmm.
Jigen goes, "You're gonna die here. It's fated by your genes. Just like Jiraiya died, you're gonna die on a solo mission by yourself." And
He told that to Naruto or
he told
Boruto?
that to Kashin Koji because they were fighting in Jigen's lair.
Oh, right.
So he was talking to the Jiraiya clone, and I was like, "Oh shit, is this guy really gonna die just like Jiraiya did?" But he doesn't. He actually survives.
Hmm.
um, Jigen drops a tower on him or something, and he like it lands on his left arm and left leg, and I think he loses. He's gonna lose those limbs, but in this
Hmm.
world you can just get robotic ones, which is why I don't like that.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
teleports out of there. A toad. He summons a toad and it eats him, and he teleports away. So maybe that's kind of like a callback saying that maybe Naruto won't. Now Naruto or Sasuke, one is dying. I don't know which one. Maybe
Oh, why can't
Sasuke.
Sakura die?
Maybe Sakura. Maybe it is Sakura. But I think because here's the issue. There's two Uchiha. So for Sarada to get her Mangekyo or Eternal Mangekyo,
Oh shit! Right. Yeah.
she's in every other instance we've seen a loved one or a close friend die. She's gonna have to watch someone she cares about immensely die, almost die. Like I mean, what's gonna happen in Boruto coming up in the manga is insane.
Hmm.
Like if you look at Boruto aside from Naruto, like the shows, Boruto is such a good manga. It's not a good anime. It's a terrible anime. Honestly,
The
probably
anime canon.
yeah. I don't like the oh bro, it's
I
anime
don't.
canon. No, I'm
I heard
sure it
that
is.
term and I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ, no! Don't tell
Yeah,
me everyone else is gonna start doing that shit because that'll be very annoying."
but
But yeah, no, someone's dying. Someone's dying.
because Boruto, when he's fighting Kawaki in that flashback,
Hmm.
he's wearing what looks to be Sasuke's cape. He's
Is he?
using what looks to be Sasuke's sword. If not, they're very similar.
Hmm.
Very similar. And if Sasuke and oh god, I just had a stroke. And Naruto were alive, how would they let Kawaki do that to the village? Or rather, Jigen in Kawaki's body, because I think that's what we see is about to happen.
Hmm.
Because Kawaki's a good guy. He is. He's not. He's
Yeah,
not evil.
I remember being confused when I first watched Boruto because I'm like, I saw the intro thing, like Boruto and that dude, but then I'm like, wait, but they're in the same like academy class and they're getting along just fine. Like, what the fuck
Yeah,
happened?
like they're friends. Like
Yeah,
they're enemies at first because Boruto's an ass and he has an attitude towards everyone.
yeah, he's an
But
ass.
Kawaki makes up for his mistakes and he's like, I'm sorry. Like, let's do this. And Boruto's like, yeah, okay, we're cool now. Um,
Hmm.
so someone's dying. Naruto and Sasuke, unless they are died, huh? Unless they died or they're sealed away somewhere, the village ain't looking like that. And
Hmm.
I mean, you can argue that like people like Lee, people like Choji and Shikamaru, and I mean all those, not Neji, rest in peace. If Neji was there, GG for everybody. But um,
Bro, Neji's death.
yeah,
Oh,
um,
I had forgotten about that.
like you can argue that these high level shinobi. I mean, they're strong, obviously,
Hmm.
but they're not in Naruto and Sasuke's level, right? They might be
Like,
S rank ninja, but they're not. They they could even come close to Kage level. Don't get me wrong, but they're not.
oh yeah, no, but the thing is, if the Kage wasn't Naruto, they would probably be Kage level.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because when you look at Naruto and Sasuke, I mean, they've got six paths powers. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, Sasuke's got the time space Renegon, Naruto's got the other half. I forgot what his transformation's
I always
called.
forget what Naruto's is, like
Yeah.
what exactly his powers are.
He
I know
gets,
Sasuke's is like the limbo thing and like the dimensional travel shit. I
and
don't know.
Naruto gets, I think, some kind of access to life or death, like yin and yang chakra.
Hmm.
And because he saves Guy
Oh yeah, he did
Sensei,
save Guy.
he
Yeah,
also,
he
he
did save
also
Guy.
just gives Kakashi an eye.
Hmm.
So I want to say it's like maybe creation, not destruction, whereas Sasuke may be destruction,
Uh-huh,
Naruto may be
uh-huh.
creation. That maybe I have to
That
look
does
up.
make sense. That does
Um,
make sense though.
just purely based on the fact that he saved Guy Sensei's life, not his leg, but his life, and he gave Kakashi an eye. I would assume him to be like the life side, whereas Sasuke would be the death side. Kind of,
Yeah.
um, that sounds cool. Life, yeah, I like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's no one in the world supposedly that can challenge them. And then this Otsutsuki guy shows up, Jigen, and just mops him, wipes the floor with him,
Like
puts
where
him
the
on
fuck were
skates,
y'all
bro.
during Shippuden?
Exact. Well, apparently this is like because apparently Otsutsuki's travel in twos, and I
Hmm.
think this guy was supposed to be Kaguya's partner, but
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say that for sure. It's
Or something happened,
yeah,
like
it's
they
been
got
a while.
separated or something.
That was like God, like 20 chapters ago or something. So it's been a while since I read that.
So her name's Kaguya Otsutsuki.
Yeah,
Otsuki.
yeah, and then Jigen, I think was her like travel partner or whatever they call it. Um,
Hmm.
so I hate rambling about Naruto, but it's my favorite.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Naruto has a lot of stuff to talk about.
But something let's move on. We'll go down the list now and stop
Oh yeah,
dwelling.
yeah.
I just started Food Wars.
Hmm.
Um, I'm 19 episodes in. I just finished the I don't remember what it's called, like training arc or whatever, where it's like the summer thing. or the
Oh,
6 week
where they,
training
where they where
arc.
they go to like a restaurant
Yeah,
to
and
train?
yeah, and like there's like one scene where he has to like make 200 dishes for people, only
Oh,
using
you're
eggs
talking
and
about
stuff.
the
I forgot what it's called.
It's basically like a test. I forgot what it's called too,
Yeah,
but it's basically like your midterm.
kind of. Yeah,
But
and it's like
yeah,
they're just assessing your ability. And next, right now where I am, they just showed the names for fall selection.
yeah, the autumn selection.
Yeah, they just showed it, and he's on there, and they just announced that it's like curry themed or something.
Hmm.
And that's where I stopped. So I haven't seen the fall
Yeah.
selection. I have a few spoilers. I kind of know how it, like a couple of the I don't want to call them food wars because they're not food wars, but like the food battles happen.
Hmm.
I'm very excited though. I will say, and I told Max this, like I love the concept of the show. I love it.
Yeah,
I love food. I love the fact that it's a prestigious school. I think that is sick. I love that idea.
that is actually fucking sick. Like I'm sure there's a school like that in the world, but
Yeah,
it's like that's pretty fucking cool the way they
but
did that.
but what I don't like is the execution of how at least one time every episode it's like softcore hentai, like
Hmm.
clothes fly off and like there's a couple times where like tentacles are wrapped around people and I'm like, I could do without it.
Hmm.
Like I'm sure some people absolutely love this stuff, and more power
I
to
find
you.
I find funny how they do the visualizations though, like in like the first few episodes when Soma used honey for a steak that
Oh
they were
God,
supposed to do, and then they
yeah,
just had like
with the
the
tentacles.
chef, no, the chef, the instructor, I guess, and he's
Oh
like
yeah,
subarashi, like he's like, oh, delicious, and fucking honey's pouring over him. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like an acid trip anime almost.
it's yeah. I mean, I'm gonna watch it purely
Hmm.
because I really like the visuals of the show. The food looks amazing.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
I love the art of that show.
but I, it bothers me now, so I know it's gonna bother me throughout the entire show. That
Hmm.
you know, I don't. I just
They get more, like as you go further, like obviously the competitions get more serious, so there's like judges, so it's not just like one person has their clothes ripped off. It's like, have you seen the director do his like clothes ripping
I
thing yet?
saw it on YouTube. I saw the clip on YouTube. I haven't seen it in
Hmm.
the show yet, but yeah, I was scrolling through because I watched the Food Wars video and it was like director whatever whatever does his flex, and I was like, what does that mean? And it's kind of like, have you seen how heavy are the dumbbells you lift? It's
Hmm.
like a newer anime. There's
I
a
think,
there's a trainer and he goes Saito Chusto and he flex. He's like a skinny guy, and he
yeah.
flexes and he becomes this huge muscle guy. That's exactly what happens in Food Wars. Like the
Hmm.
dude just flex. Like that's gnarly. I'll give you that. Like that kind of stuff. Cool. But like when you're like, how do I say this without getting like my video taken down off YouTube? When
And
you're
actually, no, don't say it. I know. I think I know what you're gonna try to explain,
yeah,
but don't
there's
fucking
like
say it.
noises and stuff. Like you could probably ease up a little.
If you close your eyes, what you envision happening is not what's happening on the
Not at
screen.
all, by a long shot. Um,
Especially since you don't understand what the fuck they're saying. Like if you just listen to the raw audio without like an English dub or like without looking at subtitles,
it is
you wouldn't know
rough.
what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
You'd be way off.
and if you had it playing through your speakers and someone heard it from the hallway or something, they're gonna make some judgments about you that you might not want.
Some judgments, my guy.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's a lot, but like I said, I'm gonna watch it honestly purely just because I'm curious about the plot. Like so far,
Have you heard about the Elite 10?
yeah, I know about the count. Yeah, like the top 10 or whatever,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah, no, you
know
meet them right at the end of season one or at the beginning of season two. I
because
don't know which one.
I've met Erina, I think is her name.
Yeah, Erina and
I've
Ishiki.
the guy that doesn't wear clothes. I don't know his
Yeah,
name.
he lives in Polar Star. Yeah, Ishiki.
Yeah, and I met the dude with glasses, who's number 2.
No, he's number 9 or 8.
Is he 9 or 8? I thought
Yeah,
I
he's
said
one of those.
2. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, number 2 is a completely different person,
Oh,
and they're
um,
actually they're actually pretty not normal, but I mean they're still fucking good at cooking. I'll tell you that.
oh, well, obviously, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think it was the guy that did like because they just had like a break where they were like making fried chicken to
Hmm.
like counteract another fried chicken store, and he was the one that was like behind it, the guy with the glasses, and so that
Yeah, he was a not a counselor. What are they called? Advisors?
uh
Basically, he tells them what to do to make more money.
yeah. Like yeah, they called him for like business advice almost.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I've met those three, but that's all I've met. Um, I know that one chick with white hair and red eyes is Erina's
Cousin.
cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious to see where that goes because I obviously
Hmm.
she's not as good as Erina. At least I don't think she is. Uh,
You could argue no. Actually, honestly, you could argue Erina is probably the best cook in that school.
I mean, when you're called the God Tongue, right, and
Hmm.
you're like trying food for like expensive restaurants and stuff, like I mean, that's kind of gnarly. Like I thought she was number one. When they said she
Mm-mm.
was 10, I was like, okay,
The only reason she's 10 is because of rage. Because when she breached the Elite 10, she was in middle school still. Like
really
when Soma went to get tested in the beginning to enter the school, she was a middle schooler at that point, and she was still Elite 10.
interesting. Okay, yeah, but I'm very curious to see where this show goes. I'm gonna stick with it because I mean, I watch anime. That's what we do. We're still in
Hmm.
quarantine. College classes don't start for like 3 weeks still,
Yeah.
so I'll probably try to get through most of Food Wars in those
I
three
usually
weeks.
tell people this. I usually tell people it's like I watch the bad animes so you don't have to.
Exactly. Like I sit through the garbage to tell you not to watch it to
I
save you
will
time.
I will dive into the pits of anime hell to watch that shit and just tell you it so you don't have to waste your time to watch it.
Exactly. But sometimes when you dip into the pit of hell, you find you find good shows like The Fruit
Oh
of
no.
Grisaia. Because
Segue into our next our
yeah,
next
because I had never heard of it, and
I think I told you about it once, like in a
you
conversation we
might
had.
have, and maybe I just yeah. But the reason I know about it, the reason I started watching it rather, was a
Hmm.
friend of mine was saying that the card set was coming out for this game that we play called Weiss Schwartz. And basically, Weiss Schwartz is they take anime and some like U.S. properties, like Adventure Time is the newest set coming out, and
Hmm.
Batman Ninja was in there, but mostly anime from Japan. Um, they put them in a card game, and you can play a card game with your favorite characters. And he said, "Are you going to get it?" And I said, "I'm not sure. I've never watched the show." He said, "Well, you should, check it out." He said, "It's one of my favorite shows." And I said, "Okay, well, you know what? When one of my friends says it's one of their favorite shows, I'll give it a shot." Um, and I sat down and I watched it, and I loved it. It's such a good show. Like
It's a very good show. I
it
love it.
from beginning to end. It's I think you said it before. It's like episode 4 or something is where the plot really
Episode four
starts.
is like so from episode one to like three, they're establishing the characters. Like
Right.
this one has this quirk. She's like this.
This
This
is the
is their name.
tsundere. This is the
Yeah,
lolly. This is the or well
and then
lolly, but yeah.
yeah, and then episode four, they're like, all right, now here's a real story, and here's the real reason why these people are together. And
And
it's like, damn.
and see, my favorite character in that show is Yumiko, the dark-haired girl.
Hmm.
I love her. Like, I don't know
Why
what
do
it
you say
is.
that?
It's just dark-haired anime girls that like, cause she was like at first she was the one that was like, oh, she held a box cutter to my dude's throat. She was like, nah, like I don't like you. Like, what are you doing here?
I love the part when like I think she was gonna try to like sneak attack him like when he was going to his
Yeah,
room and he accidentally used too much force. He's like, oh sorry.
yep.
It's like
Like,
I couldn't hold back.
but she ends up being like the best girl, right? I mean, obviously it depends on who you are. There's a lot
Yeah.
of best girls in that show,
I mean
but
I like the not the tiny pink haired girl, but the one with the this is a spoiler, but the one that was in the bus accident. I like her too, kind of.
the one with the knee-high socks,
I wanna say yes. Actually let me look up a picture of her.
Michiru, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Michiru, because there's Michiru, Sachi, Yumiko,
All right,
Amane.
I put cast, and I fucked up because that gives me the voice actors.
Ah, yes,
Let's see here. Yumiko Amane. Yeah, Amane.
Amane. Yeah, yeah. She's good. I like Amane.
Oh yeah, I would like to say, and I just remembered because I saw the cast. This show's fucking wild.
Oh, it's crazy.
No, you remember Asako?
Yes.
And you remember, you remember when her and Yuji were living together?
Listen, man, I remember that show pretty well. Now, yeah, well, I don't, but you saying that is starting to bring back some stuff. Yeah, I do remember
I
that.
had forgotten about that until I saw the cast.
Yeah, it's one of those like if you don't mind like Max and I talked about before. If you don't mind a few panty shots here and there, and you don't mind like a couple like fan service moments, for the most part, it's a really good show. And I love shows that give you time to get to know each and every character and to really like care about them. Because a lot of shows, like someone will die and I'll be like, that's cool. I don't care. I don't. What does that character mean to me? Nothing. But in shows like this, if something was to happen to these characters, I mean, it'd break my heart. Like I love these characters. Like another show that does that is Assassination Classroom. You ever watch that,
Of course, I've watched that, bro.
dude?
Kudos, the Kudo Sensei death. Jesus
You
Christ.
you get to know. It's a classroom full of students, and in 2 seasons,
You get to
you
know
get to
every
know
single one.
everyone. Every single one has their own half or full episode dedicated to them.
Hmm.
Even when new
And
students come
fucking
up,
Kudo Grisaia has arcs
yeah,
dedicated to the characters.
dedicated to characters. It's crazy to me. It's the shows that do that that I think are the ones people remember in the long run. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
obviously there's the Naruto's, the One Pieces, the Dragon Balls, the crappy Bleaches,
But those
but
are remembered because they're fucking long as shit.
right, and they
Hmm.
tell a huge long story. But
Hmm.
shows like Assassination Classroom, shows like Fruit of Grisaia, I'm trying to think of one quick. Shows
Mob
like
Psycho.
Mob
I like Mob
Psycho,
Psycho.
shows like Erased, we get to know each and every one of the
Erased was really good
yeah,
too.
like
I now remember that show.
even the characters you only see in like the flashbacks or like a few moments, like they give you so much personality and background for that one character in the 5 minutes that you see them that you're like, wow, like that's really cool. Like I didn't know I could care about a character in 5 minutes. Like the delivery girl, you only see her like 3 or 4 times, and it's only
Hmm.
for a few minutes here and there. But I mean, she's a good character. She's a supporting character, obviously, but she's a good character. Um,
Hmm.
it shows like that really stick with you.
Yeah.
Um, so, would you have? Can you think of any others?
Uh, it's just short anime. Let me look at my list. But I was gonna say like, well, you know, I asked you before, but you said let's save it for the podcast. Your favorite arc in
Oh,
Fruit of
dude,
Grisaia?
it's the Yumiko one because you find out that Yumiko's dad is like really overbearing and tries to control her life and all this
Hmm.
stuff, and a whole bunch of stuff happens. So I can't, it's a lot to cover. But she ends up faking her own death in front of her
Yeah,
dad.
that shit was fucking crazy.
Like there's a grenade in the school or something, and it's a private school. Only like 6 or 7 people go to the school,
It's actually five.
or
It's
5. Oh,
Yuji, Yumiko, Amane, the multi-personality girl, and
yeah.
the youngest one. I think it's only five, and then it's the principal slash teacher.
There you go.
So I guess six. Yeah, six people in that school.
But so obviously, like when there's grenades, and they practice with the guy's a hitman. So I mean, there's always weapons and stuff. So it's not uncommon to see a
We'll
grenade
talk
there.
about his background later, but it's like
Yeah.
the shit he does.
But a grenade gets thrown, and she like jumps on top of it or something, or something like that. I don't remember exactly how she like
Yes,
falls on it.
I think it was like
Oh,
someone
I think
who
she
threw the
was.
grenade.
I think she was threatening her dad with it or something, wasn't
Oh
she? Like
no, they
walking
were doing like
towards.
the standoff thing. Like she was
Yeah,
behind the window, and he was like talking to her, like, "Oh, don't do this, isn't that?" And like she goes up, she pulls the pin on the grenade, and she like falls over.
yeah,
And then I think at that point, Yuji somehow set up like a body swap for her,
yeah. And then the
and then the
bomb
grenade
goes off,
exploded. And then
and
that's when the dad and everyone else when it was able to get in.
yeah, and they like see the dead body, and like, oh no, Yumiko's, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then at that moment, I thought she was dead because we don't know that they did the body swap. At that
Oh no,
time, we're like, oh, we just lost Yumiko. But then it flashes to like I don't know if it's her funeral or whatever, and then it
so
zooms out.
it was the tombstone. So like it
Yeah.
was Yuji and the dad at the tombstone. He's like saying
Oh,
all this
that's
like
right. Yeah.
monologue, whatever, this and that, and then he leaves. And then you just see Yuji standing there, they're like panning out, and then behind the tree is Yumiko, and you're like, wait,
And you're
aren't you
like,
supposed to be
what just
fucking
happened?
dead?
And she's free, and I think she's the one that ends up with oh boy, with Yuji.
They don't specifically say it, but they uh, they they emphasize more on their
Yeah.
relationship, if that makes sense.
That's my I think it's my favorite arc only because like We didn't know what was happening. I thought I lost best girl, and it was just
Oh yeah, no, they literally mindfuck you there.
yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. But then my other like, it's not my favorite arc because I'm gonna talk about my favorite arc in a bit. But my favorite like little segment was when that one guy went into the school with a shotgun,
Oh yeah,
and then he's like, make him drink water, and they're
yep.
like, where the fuck are you?
Where
You
are
just like
you?
don't
Yeah,
worry about it. Drink water, and I'm gonna say it at the end. I just want to build up to it, and they're like, oh, all right, I guess. So then he tells one of the girls, he's like, hey, can you make sure that the first urinal closest to the door is out of commission from the men's restroom? And she's like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. And she's trying to think of a way to do it, and like the multi-personality girl like does some dumb shit and like bangs
yeah,
her head on the side and breaks
yeah.
it. And then he's like, and then she's like, well, I guess that works. And and then time passes, they're still in the hostage situation, the guy's putting a shotgun at all of them, and then he's like, damn it, I gotta piss. And like, I forgot why he takes one of the girls with him, but I forgot why he did that.
uh,
And
I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched this show.
yeah, it's been a long time. And then out of nowhere, you just see like, you see through a scope that like someone's watching the window, and then the guy comes in. You can see his movement, and then he's just like, "All right, fuck it." He pulls the trigger. He's 900 meters away, which is almost a kilometer, and fucking nails the guy like on the shoulder, or on the arm, something like that. And he just basically sniped him from across like probably, I don't know, like an entire neighborhood.
Yeah, it's very far away,
And then that's when they go more in depth to his background, like who this guy actually is.
and he is raw.
He's
Like,
fucking mad. He started doing missions when he was like 13, I think.
yeah, very young.
So like he was taken in by Asako, which is basically like a military sniper, like a mercenary basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think she was dedicated to Japan. I'm not sure how that worked, but she
Yeah,
also had
it's
ties
weird.
to the U.S. It's weird. But anyway, she took him in when he was like 7. Actually, he killed a man when he was
Mm,
7. I just remembered that.
that sounds
He
right.
fucking
Yeah.
killed a man. He killed a man. And she's like, "All right, I'm gonna take this boy in." And then one time, like they were calling her, they're like, "Oh, Agent, what was it? Agent 901 or something
I
like
don't
that."
remember his number. I don't remember it. I also don't remember what he called the blonde chick when he called something. There was two letters he called the blonde chick. I don't remember.
Yeah, JB,
JP, JB, something like that.
JP,
Yeah.
something like that. Well, anyway, he's like, "Oh, Asako, they're calling you," and like she like, I think she was like hungover. He's like, "Ah, fuck it, I'll go." And he literally just goes, does a mission, and he becomes a hitman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's just
I
a
don't know what else
hitman.
to tell
Like,
you.
and I want to say I don't remember exactly the age, but when we see him in the show, he's like 18 roughly, maybe a little bit younger than 18, like
I want to say he's
17.
around 18 because it wouldn't make, because they show him in the U.S. Army, and I'm guessing he had to be like 16 at that point, 16 or 17.
Six, yeah, probably.
And then after that, he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. Give me a normal life.
Yeah,
And he gets anything but. I mean,
anything but yeah,
and now my favorite arc, the fucking bus accident. That
yeah,
shit. I've never seen an anime go into so much detail about what actually happens during that.
yeah. It
But, but I want to hear your thoughts on it because
it's
I already watched it.
it's weird because most of the time when anime over explain things, it doesn't
Hmm.
make sense and it's boring and you're like, okay, now why are you telling me this? But this show has such a suspense and such a lead up and you have so many questions that when stuff like the bus accident happened or when you start getting the flashbacks of really like who's who, like the over explanation, it doesn't drag on. You're just like, oh my
Hmm.
god, all my questions are like finally here, and
Yeah.
it's good. I don't know. I don't know how to. You really have to watch it. Like,
Well, the thing that we should probably say that ties that's so important about the bus accident is that this Amane girl was friends with the protagonist, the male protagonist's older sister. Hold up, I have her name right here. Kazuki.
silver, yeah, Kazuki, the
Yeah,
silver hair
we'll
girl.
call her silver haired. Her
Yeah,
name's Kazuki. She has silver hair, and
she's also
basically
best girl.
she died. She basically died when Yuji was like, I forgot how old he was, but she was in middle school, so he must have been like in elementary, like probably like 4th or 5th grade, something like that. And but Amana never told Yuji about that. She's just like, oh, I'm gonna try to make it up to him by being an overbearing slut.
And it, he or she was trying to get him to be like her brother, right? That was their whole like weird relationship.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
she
then
kept telling him to call her older sister or something like that,
yeah,
or big sister.
and Michiru had paid Yuji to be her dad or whatever at one point, and that
No, Machina.
or
Machina paid
Machina,
him.
Machina. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
not Michiru, Machina. Michiru is the split personality girl. Machina is
Hmm.
the extremely rich one.
I still love the way Machina just adopts, like the way she has her own fucking sniper rifle
Yeah,
by
it's
the end of the
crazy.
fucking anime. But but yeah, no, Amane was best friends with Kazuki's older sister, and basically she was the only survivor of the bus accident. Now, the way they show you how she was the only survivor is my favorite part, because it's like, all right, yes, like, but did they die in the crash? And it turns out no, they survived for like weeks or something like that. I forgot how long it was, but basically they survived for like weeks, and you see like they literally allude to cannibalism.
Pretty much.
And I never thought, well, I mean, I have seen it in anime, but it's mostly in like fantasy esque anime.
And yeah, and usually it's like yeah, more like I hate to say D&D, but that kind of stuff, like
Yeah,
isekai kind
that
of
sounds right.
stuff.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
D and D S type anime, but I never thought I'd see it in like in action. I guess you could
Like
count this as
like a
shonen anime.
slice of life, like
It's like a slice of life action harem shonen
I don't know how
anime,
you describe that show really.
and they fucking allude to cannibalism.
Yeah, it's
And I'm like, yo, wait. And when they showed that, I was scarred. I was like, wait. And fucking what's her name? Kazuki knew. She knew it was human meat. I don't know
yeah,
how she knew,
I hope
but
yeah.
she fucking knew.
You know what show I think you would like?
Which one?
There's a show called The King's Game. Have you seen
The
that?
King game. I haven't, but I'm pretty sure I can look it
It
up right now.
it's pretty good. It's only 12 episodes. I watched it in a day. Obviously, it's a dayer. Like it's 12 episodes.
Hmm.
It's like there's this king and he sends a text message to all the people playing the game. And
Hmm.
if you don't follow his order, then you get punished. And the punishment starts, sometimes it's like tell your crush you love them, tell your whatever. And if you don't, you'll die.
Oh,
But then the punishments turn into you get decapitated. You like blood spews from every pore of your body, or like you get hit by a truck. Like it gets really gnarly really fast.
bro, this sounds like another.
It
Have you
kind
seen
of
that one?
yeah, it kind of. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen like 75% of it. It's
But this
similar in a
one,
way.
but this one sounds less stupid than another. Not
It
gonna lie.
it makes a little more sense, but not much.
Like, wait, so do they get the orders from like text message
Text
or
message, yeah, and
okay?
it's a little bit of a spoiler, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but it's gonna make you look at the show a lot different in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
If you win the King's game, you have an option. The
Mm-hmm.
option is like I'm gonna forget. It's like you die, or you can live and continue the King's game. And if you choose to live, then you and the surrounding, like your next classmates, for in this instance, they're all classmates that play the King's game.
Yeah.
Um, that's how this one starts in this show. Is the guy survived his original King's game, went to this class, and now everyone in this class is involved in it. And so you kind of drag everyone in your life into this like gruesome game, and it gets to a point where like he gives you stuff you have to do, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it starts off where you kiss this person, kiss them by midnight, you win, it's fine. Then you get your next order, and then it turns into uh, make a human puppet by cutting apart your bodies and sewing them together.
Cutting apart whose
You're,
body?
the players that remain. So it's like you cut off your leg, I'll cut off my arm. We have to take someone's torso and sew them together and make a
Someone's
body.
losing a dick.
Exactly. And so it's like it
Yo, that
ramps
sounds
up so
crazy.
fast, and I think you'd like it because it's that kind of like surprise, like oh what's happening
Like
kind of stuff.
suspense thriller type shit.
Yeah, yeah.
That gives me you remember that bad Truth or Dare movie they made about like where they played the Truth or Dare game in like
Oh, like in
a
the
church in
woods or
Mexico?
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was an old church in Mexico, and that's basically what this is giving. Like at first, it's like, oh, do this, do that,
yeah, it's very similar to that actually.
and then
Yeah,
apparently it follows them. It's like, oh, I dare you to do this, and like they get like a demonic smile or some shit. But this is through text message, which I feel
yeah.
like to me I would enjoy it more because I'm like,
But
how is a
it's like
demon supposed to leave a
it's not.
church?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it too much because you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
But it's not like a person that sends it. It's really weird. You'll have to like.
is it like unfriended when that one ghost joined the Skype call?
I'll just tell you, it's a virus. They say it pretty early on. It's
Oh.
some kind of virus that lives and dwells in people,
Hmm.
and I don't know how it texts. They never explain that. It's you know
It's just one of those plot holes they just leave out.
some loose ends, but they left it open. It says um, to be continued. Like it's an open ended thing. So,
Hmm.
but it was made in like 2017, and as far as I know, I haven't heard of a continuation.
Yeah,
Um,
it's telling me here the original run was for the light novel. It's from 2009 to 2015,
yeah.
which is 12 volumes, and the manga is 5 volumes from 2011 to 2012.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's older than that. So, um, I I haven't heard of a continuation. If there is one, I don't know about it. I might look that up after the podcast because I would
Hmm.
love to see what happens next. Because
Yeah, no,
it
that's
dragged
one
me in.
I
But
like it.
you should definitely check that out. It's one of those gems. We dive
Mhm.
into the
Oh,
pits of hell. You know.
oh, speaking of, and I just remember you told me, I dove into like some old pits and found American football and anime,
Oh
and I
yeah,
feel like you should check it out. I Show 21,
yeah. I remember.
definitely good.
Yeah, I I was just thinking about this recently about how like there's volleyball animes. I'm sure there's golf somewhere.
There's soccer,
There's
tennis,
soccer, tennis,
swimming. The swimming one
basketball.
pissed me off. There's a bunch of basketball ones. Like Japan loves basketball for some reason.
Yeah, and baseball.
Yeah, I love the baseball ones. Have you heard of One Outs?
You know what? I think someone had posted a clip on Twitter about some crazy play that happened, and it looked really good. But I
Hmm.
actually have not seen it.
So basically, I'm just gonna tell you like how the thing starts. This dude is gambling with baseball, and a professional player who's very respected, but he's never won a championship. Like everyone's like, yeah, he's the best player, but he's never won a championship because his team's kind of ass. And so he hears about this. He's like, what? So he goes, checks it out, and he decides to get in on the gambling. He's like, if I win, I'm taking your right hand, so you can't gamble with baseball ever again.
Oof.
And the guy's like, all right, bet. So to make a long story short, he wins the bet, and the guy's like, "All right, here you go," and like he puts his hand out to like be cut off because I mean that's
Yeah.
usually what you would assume. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not cutting off your hand." He's like, "You're signing up onto my team,"
Oh.
and he's like, "What?" So you know that happens, and then they go to like I guess he's like the manager or the owner. I'm not sure how it works, but he's like, "All right, he tells the respected players to leave the room. He's like, "All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I don't like you." Which I
Huh.
mean, from what I remember, that's what he said. And he's like, "Here's the contract we're gonna give you." He's like, for every out that you get, your yearly salary increases by 5 million yen."
Oh wow. I mean,
Yeah,
now
yeah, yeah,
5 million yen is like what $50,000
yeah, something like
or
that.
550. So
Yeah,
yeah, something
and he
like that.
says, but for every home run that is made while you're on the pitch, you we deduct 50 million yen from your yearly
Oh
salary.
shit.
So the whole shtick is he can't get an out. Like there isn't. I mean, he can't get a home run made on him while he's on the pitch.
That's
And
crazy.
so the ways he manages to pull that shit off is so you'll probably never see it in baseball.
What
I'm
is
gonna say
it?
that
What
straight
is
up.
it called?
One outs.
1 ounce. I'm
I think
writing
it's
that
one
down.
out or one out. But the way he does
One
shit is so
ounce.
dumb. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna spoil one of the games for you
Go for it.
where he says, so basically they're playing against this team, right? And they're like probably the number one team in the league. And they're down by like 15 runs. By the way, which were all made on the dude that's in that crazy ass contract. Like they were made on him. So hold on, let me just do this real quick. I'm
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
looked it up. It says there's 25 episodes, so that's not too bad. I could probably watch that in a day and a half.
yeah, no, it's not too long. So he's basically down 750 million yen. But by the end, they end up owning him an extra 45 million on his salary.
Wow.
But like the thing I love about some anime, like when they do like strategy like that, I'm like, I would have never guessed that. Like no one would ever guess the way he did it. I'm not gonna tell you how it is because I feel
Right.
like you're gonna watch it,
I will.
but it's crazy. Like the shit he does is crazy.
I'm
I
definitely
just
yeah. I'm looking at it right now. I'm definitely gonna have to watch it. This and Eye Shields.
I show 21. Yeah, no, watch that shit. Apparently, like they gave his stat in the beginning. He runs 40 meters in 4.2 seconds.
Phew, God
That's
dang.
NFL level. That's NFL level.
Ooh, that's fast, fast.
Oh, that's very fast.
Um,
And yeah, no, keep going.
I was just gonna say, yeah, while we're recording this, like I said, Ron and edited, there's gonna be a lot of Discord notifications happening in the background. Just ignore those. I love
Yeah.
the fact that someone's probably listening to this and they're like checking their Discord constantly, like, where was that notification? It was me. You can stop looking at your Discords now. You can unmute what you just muted because it was definitely from me. So you're welcome
Have
for all
people
that.
have people actually done that? Like, have they said that
Yeah, I
or no?
had there was one Discord notification and something that I did recently, and
Hmm.
my friend messaged me and was like, "Oh, that was you," because I think I had mentioned it that I got a message or something. He was like, "I was looking at my inbox for like 30 minutes trying to figure out what I was," and I was like, "Sorry." I think it's kind of funny. Like it's,
That is very funny, actually. That is
um,
very funny.
but let's see how far. Okay, we're an hour and 10 minutes in. We probably have a little bit of time left.
Weathering with you, dog.
So, dude, good way to end.
That's the best way to end. Weathering
Best
with
way
you.
to
I
end,
finally saw it. I saw it in a watch party.
dude. I watched it recently for the second time because when I watched it for the first time, oh no, both times were subbed. I've never seen it dubbed. Well, I don't even know if it
Hmm.
is dubbed. Um,
Yeah, I don't know either, but
the first time I saw it was on release with Claudio at the mall,
hmm
and it was a last minute thing that we just kind of decided to do, and I was like, let's go for it. And
hmm
I'll tell you what, I walked out of that theater just amazed. Shinkai, his last name, I don't remember his first name,
hmm
but Shinkai is,
a legend.
God, he's just, I have no words. Like, not only are his films beautifully animated, and I
I
mean
loved the
stunning.
fucking animation when the rain rises, my
Oh,
guy.
dude, can you
Bro.
imagine? And when I saw it in the theaters, there was like a 20-minute like interview that he answered some
Hmm.
questions,
Hmm.
and he said a big part of the movie was the rain was a character. It's not something that happens in
Yeah.
the background. It's in the foreground. It matters, and it's a character. And he said so. Giving life to that rain was very important, and I've never seen it done like he did it. I've never seen it done like he did it. It was insane. It's
Bro,
beautiful. Like
they drew fucking fish in the rain. Like
yeah,
fish jumping in the rain.
like imagine animating individual raindrops in a scene where it's thunderstorming. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, it's insane to me.
I gotta
And
say my favorite scene, like sorry to cut you
no,
off, but
you're
my
fine. Go ahead.
favorite
Go ahead.
scene was when again we said this in the beginning, but mad spoilers, when he's falling from the sky and you can see the cloud that the girl's on top of, and you can see the rain falling below it, like after they
Yes.
penetrate through the cloud. I'm like, yo, that's some nice animation right there. Like I loved it. I loved every piece of that animated movie. Or it's an anime movie, basically.
Yeah. And it not only is it gorgeous, but it's followed up. If you know Shinkai, if not, maybe you've heard of Your Name, which is his other, number one anime movie of all time. I mean,
Hmm.
broke so many records. And when funny fact, when Weathering with You was being what's it called when you like buy commercials, like showed off, I forgot what it's called, when it was about to come out,
Hmm.
they called it the number two anime of all time, the number two anime, because they were like, it's not gonna beat Your Name, but it's gonna beat everything else up to it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it I don't remember how far or how close it got. It broke records though. It
Hmm.
made people come. I mean, it was I
It was amazing. No, nothing
God.
short of amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to just explain. I don't want to like gush over a movie, but like, dude, if you know Shinkai, if you've seen Weathering with You, I'm not sorry, if you've seen Your Name, you know he has some kind of like a supernatural element to it. In Your Name, it's like a time loop kind of talking to a person back in time, and
Yeah, that shit mind fucked me when I realized that it was a
yeah,
difference in time, like 3 years, I think. I was like, wait,
it
what?
it really got me. But at the end, it all works out. But in Weathering with You, it's not like a time difference, time loop situation. It's the one of the main characters is a weather girl, and so it's this time in Japan where the weather it's always raining, it's always cloudy, But
No,
she
specifically in Tokyo,
in
it's always
Tokyo, yeah,
raining.
specifically
Yeah.
Tokyo. But she has the power to, if she prays to the sky and wills it, she can clear up the weather for a short amount of time. And so that's kind of like her supernatural power, but it comes at a cost. I won't spoil too much because this is something I'm gonna say. Watch, go watch, find it on the internet, buy it if you can find a DVD or something. But sit down and watch this movie. Um, it's beautiful. The story is amazing. The characters are amazing. It's one
Bro,
of
I
those.
loved that I could like every single character.
Yeah,
I liked every single character.
everyone.
Even the cops. Even the
Yeah,
cops.
even when people are in the wrong, because eventually they'll end up realizing they're in the right, right? Because
Hmm.
it's an anime. Yeah, every character is just level. The only character I guess I wasn't a huge fan of was the guy who like kicked him into the trash can at the very
Oh,
beginning.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he ain't important. Fuck him.
Yeah, he was more of like a character building situation. But
Yeah.
something you brought up that I wanted to say for the podcast specifically is
Hmm.
this was a huge topic me and Claudio talked about, and is for those of you who don't know, obviously most of you won't. Our friend Claudio is another huge anime guy,
Oh
manga,
yeah.
anime, huge.
Actually, we should bring him on for another episode.
I think that'd be sick. Us three sitting down talking. I
Yeah.
think we might have to
Yeah.
do that. Um, but the gun, you mentioned the gun. I didn't bring it up. You mentioned it. So in the
Yeah.
movie, there is a gun. He finds a gun in the trash can, and he has it for the whole movie, and it plays a little bit of a part. I'm not going to say to what extent, but it, you brought it up, and Claudio brought it up, and it's because in Japan, for those of you who may not know, gun laws are pretty strict. Most individuals can't just own a weapon like that.
Pretty strict, my guy. It's easier to smuggle like drugs across the U.S. border than it is to buy a gun in Japan, probably.
That's yeah. I mean, it's yeah. I guess I'm kind of downplaying it, but um, the fact that he finds a gun is a big deal. You don't, that in the U.S. I mean, you walk down, you kick a trash can, there could just be a weapon in there someone stashed. I mean, let's just be honest
Yeah.
here. But
You literally see fucking weapon shops
yeah,
littered
everywhere.
everywhere.
There's a place, I'm not going to say how close to me, fairly close though, and it's called Golf and Guns. They sell golf clubs and
I think I've
guns.
seen it actually. I think I have seen it
It's
before.
next to the place we hang out and play cards at a couple times.
Hmm.
It's like
Hmm.
two
Yeah.
doors down. It's called what?
And in Japan, for you to get a gun, it's like, and that's actually now that I'm thinking about it, don't the police over there always have like this cable strapped to their gun?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's to keep track of like when it was fired or like how many shots are like I don't know. I'm speculating, but you don't see that in the fucking U.S.
No. And yeah, I'm assuming also. I mean, the tether also, so people don't can't just run by and grab it. And in
Hmm.
the U.S., police officers have like a latch or a clip you have to release, but over there they have like the strap.
Yeah, no, my favorite character, honestly, from Weathering with You, aside from the protagonist, like the protagonists are amazing. I love their relationship, but the girl's little brother, he's fucking funny.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, when
is
he's like when he first sees it, like he doesn't know it's the girl's brother, and he's like talking to this girl when she gets off, and another girl comes on. She's like, "Hey, how are
dude,
you? Oh my god!"
and it's funny because you see that and you're like, oh, that's kind of funny. That fourth grader's a player, and he's the
Mhm.
main
Yeah.
character's little brother. You wouldn't know that. It's hilarious how they like tie all that together.
Hmm.
Um,
But you know,
what
the gun
else?
fucking shocked me.
Because
No, no, what shocked me more than him finding a gun was that he shot the fucking gun and that it had the ammo in it
and it
and that
had
it
live
worked.
ammo. Yeah,
Yeah,
because yeah, not only that's a good point. Not only did he find a weapon, but he found a
it
weapon
was
that was
loaded,
loaded with live ammunition, and he
and he
shot
fucking
it.
used it.
And like for how do I say this? Like in Japan, you don't just hear a gunshot, right? Like you just go about your day. It stops everything.
Everything within like probably a 50-meter radius
Yeah,
just stopped.
and everyone's like, oh, 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 and you're like, okay, like what's
You don't just run away from that.
yeah,
Like I mean, you can attempt, but you like here, bro. I when was it? Like a week ago, I heard like gunshots. And I'm like, I don't know if that's fireworks or gunshots. But you would never ask that question in Japan. You'd be
no,
like, oh, that was a fucking gunshot. Because it's not the summer festival. It's not New Year's. It's not Christmas. There's no fireworks. That's a
Right. You're
fucking
like,
gunshot.
that is a weapon.
Yeah, and you just stop. You don't just keep walking. You just stop and you're like, who's gonna take care of that?
It's, yeah. Um, but I guess, when it comes down to it, uh, if I could recommend you going and watching something after this podcast, I would highly recommend Weathering with You. I think it's worth watching. I think it's an anime movie that is on par, if not above, the Studio Ghibli classics. I
hmm
mean,
I've due to my girlfriend, I've seen some Studio Ghibli movies, and they're good. But in my opinion, they're the Weathering with You and Your Name. What was his name again?
Shinkai.
Yeah, Shinkai's films are probably better.
I, I,
Not gonna lie.
I think so. I truly, and I'm not saying that because I'm a fanboy. I'm saying that because I truly, honestly believe that Shinkai makes better movies than anyone else in the anime movie industry right now.
Mhm.
I do. I fully believe that. So I'd recommend that.
Bro, he should make the reworking of the live adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
They should. He definitely. Oh
Uh,
God.
the
But
first one was a disaster.
let's see. All right, we've gone for about an hour and 20 minutes, so I guess we'll start
Yeah,
wrapping it up
I
now.
say we're good. Yeah, next episode we have to bring on Claudio.
For sure. I'll try. We'll try to contact Claudio. And also,
Bro, he'll get so passionate in the middle of
yeah,
it.
I
I
love it.
know it.
I know exactly what he's gonna want to talk about too. Um,
Hmm
but hopefully, coming up soon, we're gonna have a couple other guests on. My friend Darius. I'm gonna message another guy by the name of Anime Analyst. Go check out his channel. Huge
hmm
supporter of him. I'm gonna try to have him on. He's a Naruto god who just got into Bleach, but I forgive him for that because he's a Naruto god. So hopefully we can expect to see them soon now that the anime series has started. Max, thank you for being here, and hopefully we can have you
Oh,
on.
pleasure to be here, my guy. I'm always free. Just hit me up.
Hell yeah, future episodes for sure, bringing you back. So, all right, guys, make sure you join the Discord. Come hang out with us, play games with us, come watch anime with us. I may start streaming some anime stuff coming soon. Not gonna say what. Maybe some interesting things.
Bro,
Um,
when are we doing the discussions of like anime character power levels?
Hey, we can do that next episode. What? We'll
Oh,
touch on power levels next episode. We'll have to get ready
hell
for that
yeah.
one. So y'all keep a lookout for that. Me and Max next episode. Power levels. So thank you guys for watching. Join the Discord, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.